There's a certain kind of person who's a little strange. They walk into a room and within seconds, they already know something is off. Nobody has said anything unusual. Everyone's smiling, but their brain has finished scanning the whole place. A conversation that stopped too quickly when they walked in. Two people standing just a little too far apart. A laugh that sounded like it was trying to prove something. Most people think this kind of awareness is a gift. The truth is, it's also a trap. Because their mind doesn't have an off switch. They can't just enjoy the room. They take it home. They replay it. They turn a 2-second glance into a 3-day investigation. And if you know someone like this, or if you are someone like this, you already know how tiring it is. So where does this kind of awareness actually come from? Psychology points to 2 paths. The first is inborn. Researchers call them highly sensitive persons, or HSPs. People whose nervous systems process sensory input at an unusually high resolution. From birth, the world just hits them louder and deeper. The second path isn't a gift. It's an inheritance of survival. Neuroscience calls this hypervigilance. It usually takes root in childhood homes where the emotional weather kept changing. A kid who could tell from the way the front door closed whether it was going to be a safe night or a long one. A kid who learned to watch their mother's jaw because that one tiny muscle always tightened before the yelling started. A kid who practiced being quiet in their own bedroom because even the sound of a drawer closing could set someone off downstairs. And another kid who studied the pause between the question, "How was your day?" and the answer that followed, because in that tiny pause, you could hear everything that wasn't being said. Their amygdala, the brain's alarm system, learned early that scanning was how they stayed safe, and eventually that scanning fused into their personality. So how does it actually show up in adult life? Let me walk you through 5 signs. Sign 1. Living in constant analysis mode. For most people, a short message is just a short message. For them, it's a puzzle. A friend texts, "Hey, can we talk later?" And most people would respond, "Sure, when?" and get back to their day. For them, that text just rewrote the afternoon. They read it 3 times. They notice the period at the end instead of an exclamation. They try to remember if they did anything weird the last time they hung out. By the time the friend actually calls, they've already lived through 4 imaginary versions of the conversation. Part of this traces back to something called the default mode network, the part of the brain involved in self-referential thinking. In most people, it quiets down during conversation. In them, it just keeps humming. Half of them is nodding and laughing. The other half is taking notes on everything. Sign 2. Hyper self-awareness. Metacognition is the ability to think about your own thinking. Everyone has it. For them, the switch is stuck in the on position. They don't just feel sad. They watch themselves feel sad and judge themselves for it. They don't just laugh at a joke at dinner. Half a second later, part of their mind has floated up to the ceiling and is reviewing the laugh. Was it too loud? Did it sound real? It's like dancing while watching yourself in a mirror to fix your posture. You don't miss a step, but you lose the feeling of the music. Sign 3. Losing innocence in relationships. Deep awareness eventually shows you the backstage of human behavior. Psychologists call this theory of mind, the ability to read other people's intentions. When it runs on overdrive, it changes how you see everyone. A coworker brings them a coffee and compliments their project. Most people feel warm. They scan for the angle. What does this person want? Are they about to ask me for something? Or they're on a second date that's going well? The conversation is flowing. The other person laughs at a joke that honestly wasn't that funny. And instead of just enjoying it, a quiet voice in their head asks, "Is this laugh real? Or is this person trying to convince themselves to like me?" They don't want to think this way. It just happens. The radar runs in the background whether they asked it to or not. They start to notice that kindness sometimes comes with fine print, that affection sometimes looks an awful lot like investment, and a quiet loss sets in. It's not the loss of trust exactly. It's the loss of being able to take anything at face value. They don't become cynical. They just become careful. And sometimes they feel lonely in a crowd because nobody else seems to see the second layer they're seeing. Sign 4. Empathy with no off switch. For them, Empathy isn't something they turn on when a friend cries. It's a baseline. They walk into a meeting where nobody's saying anything, and they feel the tension between two coworkers like a smell in the room. Science points to mirror neurons, the brain cells that fire when you watch someone else feel something as if you were feeling it yourself. Most people get a soft echo. These people get the full signal. Someone on the bus next to them taps their foot with anxious energy, and suddenly their own heart picks up. A friend talks about a divorce on Tuesday, and they're still carrying that sadness on Friday. They become the emotional regulator for everyone around them. Everyone loves being near them. Almost nobody asks who's regulating them. Sign 5. When awareness moves into the body. There's a word for this: interoception. It's your brain's ability to sense what's happening inside your own body. People who are too aware often have an interoception system that's been turned up way too high. They walk up a flight of stairs and their chest feels tight at the top. For most people, that's just stairs. For them, the brain catches the tightness and says, "Wait, why is my chest tight? Something might be wrong." Or they're lying in bed, almost asleep, and they suddenly become aware of their own breathing. Not faster than usual, just suddenly noticeable. The moment they notice it, breathing stops feeling automatic. They start trying to breathe on purpose, which of course makes it feel wrong. 20 minutes later, they're on their phone at 1 in the morning, looking up whether this is something to worry about. The body was fine the whole time. The awareness wasn't. A normal sensation gets misread as a warning, and the body releases stress hormones to match the fake warning, which makes the sensation stronger, which confirms the fear. A loop, a quiet, exhausting loop that can run for years before anyone realizes it's running. Now here's what nobody tells them. The goal isn't to become less aware. You can't uninstall this. Asking someone with perfect vision to see blurry doesn't work. The goal is to stop carrying everything. People who make peace with this usually arrive at 3 quiet realizations. The first one is that most of what they pick up isn't actually theirs to solve. A slow reply is usually just a tired person. A coworker who walks by without smiling probably has something on their mind that has nothing to do with you. The radar still sees it. You just don't have to chase every signal it catches. The second is that a feeling in the body isn't always a message. Sometimes the heart just beats faster for no reason. Sometimes the chest just feels tight because you've been sitting weird. You're allowed to notice a sensation and let it pass without giving it a name or a story. The third is that being able to see something clearly doesn't mean you have to act on it. You can see a friend's insecurity and not become their therapist. You can notice something unsteady in a relationship and still decide it's not your job to fix it. Awareness becomes bearable when it stops coming with a demand attached. When they start living this way, the awareness doesn't go away. It softens. They still read the room. They still feel the weight behind the words, but they stop being pulled into every current they notice. The light in their head stops working like a security camera scanning for threats and starts working more like a candle in a quiet room, still bright enough to see by, just no longer trying to catch everything at once. If you recognized yourself somewhere in these 5 signs, you're not broken. You never were. You were just handed a nervous system that came with the volume turned up, and nobody gave you the manual. Which of the 5 signs hit you the hardest? Let me know in the comments. And if this video made you feel a little less alone, send it to someone whose mind also never quite gets to rest. They might need to hear it today.